What are the chances for the Huge Chroma Lucki pet in Pet Simulator 99? What's the best loadout to use for the Lucky Blocks minigame? And why is there so much controversy over this Huge being reintroduced to the game? And could there be major improvements to the Lucky Blocks minigame that actually make it worthwhile to play not just alone, but as a team? The Huge Chroma Lucki was introduced back in Pet Simulator X during the Lucky Blocks World event. Now, when this event was introduced, it was widely received as positive, even though the previous Lucky Block events in Pet Simulator X were not received as positive. Everybody was kind of just getting tired of running around the world just breaking Lucky Blocks, with having little to no success getting the Huge pet from any of these Lucky Blocks, even after breaking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of the Lucky Blocks. With the introduction of the Lucky Blocks world, they added a few new things. They added the Lucky Block goal board, which means after breaking a certain amount of Lucky Blocks, you receive a reward. And in a sense, they basically carried over that entire minigame from the Lucky Block world to the Lucky Block minigame in Pet Simulator 99, with a few tweaks and changes that I personally find questionable. But the main reason why this minigame received so much backlash and hate when it got introduced to the game was for a few reasons. It kind of seemed like a rehash of the Lucky Blocks World event, but without really the fun or the teamwork aspect of it. A major plus about the Lucky Blocks World event in Pet Simulator X was the fact that anyone and everyone could go to the Lucky Blocks World and work together as a team to work towards the goal. Definitely seems like it's added more as a solo minigame. But beyond that, the major point of contention was reintroducing the Huge Chroma Lucki. This Huge pet was a Huge pet you could get from the Lucky Blocks World in Pet Simulator X, but now it's obtainable again from the Lucky Blocks minigame in Pet Simulator 99, therefore decreasing the value of anyone who hatched it from Pet Simulator X, which I think everyone who did have one or had even teams of them are feeling really bad about this introduction of the game. They probably could have introduced a brand new Huge pet that fit the theme, but didn't take away from the Huge that pre-existed in the game prior to its existence. But after understanding everything we need to know about the Huge Chroma Lucki, let's get into the chances of the Huge pet. It's believed that you can get the Huge Chroma Lucki from any of the Lucky Blocks in the Lucky Block world, but the only one we know the chances of is the Huge Black Lucky Block. The chance to get a normal Huge Chroma Lucki from the Black Lucky Block is 1 in 2.5 million. That's not all too bad, to be quite honest with you. You get a bunch of drops from the Black Lucky Block, which means that you get a handful of rolls at this chance. So it's not like every time you break the Huge Black Lucky Block once, you do get multiple chances for the Huge Chroma Lucki from breaking just one Huge Black Lucky Block. But the chances for the Rainbow Huge Lucky Block is 1 in 25 million, which still maintains the fact that this pet is harder to get and still maintains its value as a pretty decent Huge to farm for, because the Rainbow variant, although it says 128 million for the wrap, only 260 of them exist, so it is much more valuable than 128 million gems. That's just the current wrap value of it. But for those people who are new to Pet Simulator and have only played Pet Simulator 99 and never got the chance to play Pet Simulator X, there is something special about the Chroma Lucki. The Chroma Lucki has 6 different variants of it, so not every Huge Chroma Lucki is exactly the same. Just like how the jelly pets have different items in them depending on which one you get, you can either get the diamond, the enchant book, the diamond chest, etc. It's the same thing but with the Chroma Lucki pets, but rather than having items inside of them, it's the color of them. And there's different rarities for them, and we'll go over them now. The 6 different colors of the Huge Chroma Lucki are yellow at 35% chance, pink at 30% chance, blue at 20% chance, orange at 10%, red at 4%, and purple at a 1% chance. Which means that the rarest pet that you can get from the Lucky Blocks minigame is a shiny rainbow Huge Chroma Lucki that is purple. A 1% chance, and if you somehow get lucky enough to get it shiny and rainbow, and I can't even begin to tell you how much that's worth. It's probably worth a handful of Titanics at the very least. Now, another thing that is not confirmed about the Huge Chroma Lucki is whether or not that these are actually still hatchable in a shiny variant. So far throughout all Pet Simulator 99, every single pet that comes from a minigame or a chest or something does not have a shiny variant, and we can confirm that with the Huge Wizard Westie, the Huge Colorful Wisp, the Huge Cyber Agony, the Huge Abyssal Axolotl, and the Huge Propeller Cat. The list goes on. We don't actually know for sure if we can still hatch the shiny variant of the Huge Chroma Lucki, which may mean that the shiny variants of the Huge Chroma Lucki are completely limited in comparison to their normal counterparts. With all that being said, we need to talk about what is the best loadout to run during the Lucky Blocks minigame and if this is a Huge worth going for. Now, Now, when it comes down to team composition, obviously running your best pets is the best case scenario, so I highly recommend doing so. If you have the luxury of running with Titanics and Huges like I do, I think that you should absolutely do it. They put out the most damage, they're the fastest at breaking things. It just makes the most sense. But if you do not have that luxury and you're a free-to-play player, you still have a great shot at getting the Huge Chroma Lucki, and this very may well could be your first huge pet. Now, as for the loadout, what we're going to do is we are going to run a completely free-to-play loadout. That means I'm only going to be using the top 5 enchant slots, simply because the premium slots are pay to win, and this is the best way to kind of display, hey, this is what it would look like for a free-to-play player if they ran this. Now, if I'm you guys, what I personally would run as the first enchant in this zone is the Magnet 3. I would run Magnet 3 as the first slot just because you need the increase in magnetization for all of the orbs and items that you get from these breakables, because you don't want to miss out on the huge if you break it, but it's just too far out of your reach. Now, the enchant build is solely based on what kind of team composition you have, but for my team, I think that my best enchants to run would be 1 strength, 1 criticals, double treasure to be able to get that extra drop luck. It's not confirmed if these actually apply to the minigame, but it doesn't hurt to try it, and there's a few different things that you can run in this 5th slot. You can either run tap power 8, which allows your taps to be so much stronger, which helps a bunch with the huge black lucky block, or you can run the super lightning, which I've heard that the super lightning combined with the tap power of build something like this is actually super overpowered. Not only are you increasing the amount of damage you're dealing per tap, but if you have the auto tap feature, these two pair super well together. Highly recommend having these combined if you don't already have so. But that's going to be everything for enchants, so let's go ahead and get into the rest of it. Is make sure that you guys are running the absolute most fruits that you can, the most toys that you can, whatever you can get your hands on. If you can get your hands on the candy cane, the hot cocoa, you name it. If you can run potions, do the best potions you can. I'll even run 2 of these, a few of the cocktail, and we're going to load up on the speed potion as well, just so that way we're making sure that we're going at maximum efficiency. Editing Che here real quick. I just wanted to say, I forgot to say this in the video, make sure that you hit your auto tap button before you enter the mini game, because if you do not hit the auto tap button, it will not work. And if you don't have the auto tap game pass, you can just use an auto clicker. Personally, the one that I use is OP auto clicker, but you can set anything. You can do a mouse macro, OP auto clicker. Just make sure you're able to tap as fast as possible before entering the minigame. We're going to go ahead and jump on into the Lucky Blocks minigame. I'm going to try to just talk you guys through my thought process of what I do. Typically, what I try to do is I try to auto tap the pink blocks that are further away, because obviously with the super lightning and the tap increase, we're going to be dealing a lot of damage to these blocks, and hopefully the lightning strikes, so that way we get a lot more points on the goal board. As well as the more blocks you actually break, the higher chance that you have to actually get the rainbow lucky block, which helps so much in getting the black lucky block, which obviously gives you the better chance for the huge. So we're just sitting here. I just kind of do laps just to try to make sure I don't miss any items, and also seeing if we get any good loot along the way. But here we are. The black lucky block should spawn here in just a second. I think one thing that is kind of interesting is whether or not you want pet follows taps on in the settings. I know some people like to have that. I know some people don't. I think it's more beneficial to have pets follow taps off, because then your pets are still dealing damage to the rest of the lucky blocks in the area. As you break blocks, they'll slowly come to you to be able to help you out with the black lucky block, and they give you more points towards the next one. That way you're kind of like min-maxing how much you're actually doing, because I mean, if you take a look, we're already halfway to the next one, and it's only been about 20 seconds after breaking the first one. We're gonna just keep doing our laps here to see what we can do. I try to move my cursor towards where a lot of the smaller yellow lucky blocks are, for the sole purpose of just trying to clear the space to get the higher tier lucky blocks to spawn, especially with super lightning. If super lightning can hit while you're clicking, also gives you a bunch of points, but on top of that, it just clears a huge area and gives you a better chance for the rainbow lucky block. And as you can see here, we're just tapping away. Let's see if we get any good loot by the end of this break. Anything crazy? We get 1 orb with about 20-30 rolls for it, and sadly nothing yet. Nothing crazy. I'm not really expecting to get the huge on this run. This is just kind of a showcase of like the best way to approach this minigame, but you never know. I've been luckier in videos before, so maybe we do get lucky with it. But that brings me to my next gripe of this minigame, and that is, if you didn't get a chance to play the one in Pet Simulator X, there was an entire world dedicated to this minigame. One of the really nice things, after the goal was reached on the leaderboard, what would happen is the same effect as opening 8 exclusive eggs. It would be 8 lucky eggs spawned next to you, and one of them could potentially be the huge. It was amazing to see because it was just like a moment where everyone was playing the game and everybody's screen would start vibrating, and then you'd be like, oh, who got it, who got it, who got it? And then you got to see the person hatch the huge, which just encouraged other people to keep trying, because I mean, if you see people actively hatching the huge from a completely free to play minigame, how does that not encourage you to want to do this more often? So I think that they should probably reintroduce that. I haven't seen a video of someone hatching the huge in this minigame yet, so who knows, maybe that could be the case, but I highly doubt it. I think that you're going to get it the same way that you get the huges from the wheel, from the chest, from the minigames, etc. I think you're just going to get an orb and it's just going to pop up on your screen. And I mean, although that's nice, it doesn't feel as rewarding as that feeling did, because that gives free-to-play players almost that experience of getting a huge from an exclusive egg completely for free. And I mean, I think that's just overall a win to have as a mechanic. I think that they should reintroduce it, because imagine breaking a black lucky block and then all of a sudden, boom, an egg pops out of nowhere. You realize that you have the huge being hatched and you get to witness it happen via the huge animation. I think that that would be spectacular. And for the winner of the overload charm from my last video, the winner will be shown on screen here. Congratulations. I've already sent out quite a few items from that video to you guys in the comments. I just started scrolling through and picking them at random just to kind of make it easy. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know in the comments if you guys actually received it. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Anyways, it's efun000. Congrats. I hope you enjoyed that overload charm. Thank you so much for participating, subscribing, and being a member of the community. And for my next giveaway, I'm going to be giving away 2 huge happy computers. That's right, there's going to be 2 winners for the huge happy computers in my next video. So be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, and comment down below what you think I should name my Titanic Jelly Dragon, and maybe I'll take one of your suggestions. But again, be sure to leave your Roblox username as well, so that way I can actually mailbox you the pet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and back to the video. But as you can see, that was our run done. I know the timer said 15 minutes, but they really only give you 5, which is a little questionable. I think it really should be 15 minutes. I think it would be worthwhile for a lot of people to play it, because some people, you know, during that 5-minute sprint, they can't break enough of the blocks to be able to get multiple the black lucky blocks. So I think it would be definitely so much more beneficial if they allowed people more time to actually be able to get it. But on top of that, that's how you do the Lucky Blocks minigame. Those are the changes I wish they would make to the Lucky Blocks minigame, because I think that the Lucky Blocks minigame is actually really fun to do, and I think it's a great introduction to the game. The changes I would make are: make this a multiplayer friendly thing. Make everybody in the server able to join it, so that way people in clans and stuff, they can coordinate and they can be like, yo, at this time, 10 of us are going to run into the Lucky Block world together. Let's team up. Let's work together. I think adding that exclusive egg animation to when you get the huge would help tremendously in terms of actually making people feel rewarded for playing the minigame, or when they actually do get the huge, because I think a lot of people actually see it as going completely unnoticed when they do receive the huge, because if they're not paying close enough attention, they could absolutely miss it. Look at the case for myself. On my huge fire horse video, I was running the chest rush minigame and I got the huge fire horse. I didn't even know I hatched it. That's the crazy thing about it. I ran it like 5-6 times and I got it, and I didn't even know I got it because I was completely AFK. I had no notification in the top left telling me that I got the huge. Personally, I think they should reintroduce into the game for active huges as well as the minigame huges. Congratulations, you just hatched the huge Chroma Lucki. Congratulations, you just hatched the huge fire horse. There's so many things that I think would be amazing quality of life things that would encourage not only the person who hatched the huge to keep playing the minigame, but also other people in the server to actually give it a shot. Anyways, guys, that's all the information I have on the Lucky Blocks world, Lucky Blocks minigame. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel down below, like this video, and be sure to leave a comment. I appreciate you guys for watching me, sticking around. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend. Have a good one, everybody.